From Super League to Olympic distance to age group world records to color. Go longer with the right fuel at the right time with SFuels.
This is a phenomenal bike ride, and I can tell you he's so casual. This is his first time he's ever biked the full 112 miles here in Hawaii. He's never been up to the turn in Harvey. He's certainly been up there today. Doesn't he look...
Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from beautiful St. George. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas, Zoot Sports, the original triathlon brand, HOKA, Let's Fly, SFuels, Go Longer, Biostarks.com. Use the code BWB10 for 10% discount. Quintanaroo, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Zions Bank, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, an amazing young woman, Zeinab Rezaie. That's pretty close, huh?
Yes.
And Zeinab is going to be the first Afghan woman to toe the line at Ironman 70.3 World Championships. That's very exciting.
Thank you so much for having me. And it's a great opportunity to be here and to be able to share what we want to share, like about what's going on in the other parts of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
So in Afghanistan, talk a little bit about as a young woman growing up in Afghanistan, how hard was that?
So I should say I'm very lucky to be raised and to get education during the past 20 years.
Yes.
These past 20 years, we had peace relatively. So it was not. We didn't have peace, but it was good. Still, we could go to school. We could get education, and the past years, many girls were breaking the taboos, and they were playing sports, playing outdoor sports,
yes,
running, cycling, swimming. So I'm lucky I can say that I have been raised and get educated during these past 20 years. In these past 20 years, there were a lot of lack of opportunity, I can say. The lack of opportunity was real for women and girls. And I personally could take whatever opportunities I could take,
yes,
I was trying to get them. But so many girls are there that they couldn't get those opportunities, access those opportunities. And also there were some traditional barriers, I can say, that even they could access those very limited opportunities. Like there were some barriers from tradition that they couldn't get those.
And is that through the Taliban? Keeping women from getting educated, from playing sports.
So Afghanistan has been into war for several decades.
Oh my God, yes.
And when there is war in a country, the only thing that people think is how they survive and how they can afford for themselves and their families.
Of course.
So Taliban is one side, but also the people, because all they have been thinking about survival. And it was, for example, they were saying it's dangerous for women and girls to go outside. So that way they were making the more restriction for women and girls to participate in society or in any other activities.
So if you're indoors, you really can't do anything. You can't go outside and play sports.
So indoors, it was getting better. Like each day it was getting better until August 2021, which the Taliban take over the country.
Yes.
And now I can say the women and girl in Afghanistan, they have zero rights. Like the basic right is to go to school to get education.
Of course.
But they are deprived of that. They cannot earn money or have an income for themselves because they are not allowed to go out and work. Of course, they cannot play a sport. I have been always saying that playing a sport is a luxury in Afghanistan for women and girls.
Yes.
It was in the past because of the lack of opportunities, because of the traditional barriers. But now it's not accessible at all, I can say. And even the women and girls, they cannot travel alone. So these are the very basic human rights that
Yes.
women and girls do not have.
And how did you find the sport of triathlon?
So I met in one of my training sessions at a military base, I can say, because there were a lot of safe places.
Yes.
So another organization was taking us to safe places. Freeze Run was were taking us to safe places. One of these safe places was a military base where I met with Jackie Fay, the founder of She Can Try, and then I didn't know about triathlon at all. I didn't know what it is.
You didn't even know what it was.
She was explaining to me that I'm training for swimming, cycling, and running. At that time, I had no idea what it is, and I couldn't imagine. And then she started her organization to train the first Afghan women triathletes.
Yes.
And I applied for that, and I got recruited. And then she took us for the first to see an actual half Ironman race in Dubai. It was in Dubai in 2019, to see you with my eyes.
Yes.
And after that, when I saw it, I was like, oops, what I'm into.
were you like, I want to do this, or were you like, no way?
Seeing that people were jumping into ocean, that was so terrifying. I was doubting myself.
Could you swim at that point?
No, nothing. I couldn't even float on the water. And it was so terrifying for me. But in a year, I could race the same race.
Wait a second.
Next
So
year.
you were at the race in 2019.
Just to watch it.
To watch it.
Yes.
Couldn't swim, couldn't float on your back.
Yes.
And a year later, you did the race.
Yes.
That's unbelievable. That is so cool. So you must have gone to some training camps. Did they take you some camps around where you went to training camps in different parts of the world?
Yeah, so it was so difficult to get trained in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Safe places to run, safe places to cycle, and there are no open water swimming. And if there is, women couldn't do, even they cannot do open water swimming
Right.
now. And there are, like, there were 2 swimming pools for women, which were very small and packed and expensive.
Yes.
So we were trying to use these opportunities still to do some training, but we were taking out to training camps in Spain, in UAE.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
I mean, but when you went to those camps in Spain and UAE and you saw other women who this was pretty common for, that they were doing triathlon, that makes it doable because now you see somebody else doing it.
Yes. So it was a good feeling to see that women are free to do whatever they want to do. If it's swimming, cycling, running, without any obstacles in front of them. So that was so good to see them to do whatever they want to do.
What's fascinating, I'm sure, when you come to this country and you see people running and people riding and swimming, and nobody's telling them they can't do it.
Yeah.
And for most of us, it makes no sense, right? Why wouldn't you not allow somebody to live their life and do whatever they want? Most of us really don't understand, and I'm sure you don't understand why that's even an issue.
I don't know. That's a difficult question. Like, if we know the root of these problems, like, we could solve it. Like, it's good that we speak it, and everyone should speak about these challenges because it's important.
Right.
Not all the opportunities should be taken for granted. Like, when I came to US, there were very beautiful trails around me, and I could say, like, women, men, everyone were taking the opportunity and to do them. But I think everyone should think about that. What if they do not have these opportunities?
Right.
So I think if they think about that, they will also think about other women and girls. Not only in Afghanistan, there are also other countries that there are a lot of restriction on women. So if they think there are other women and girls in other countries, I mean, they can value the opportunity more, and also they might do something for the other people in other parts of the world.
Exactly.
They can advocate for them and raise their voices.
What was the response when you, back home in Afghanistan, when you finished in Dubai, when you went and did this 70.3 race?
So I'm going to start with my family. My sister was very supportive, but my dad, he was like me. He doesn't know what I'm doing. He doesn't know what's a triathlon.
Okay.
He doesn't know what's a marathon. So He was saying, as long as you're playing a sport, you're doing a sport, it's good for you. I'm happy.
Okay,
And he's not.
that's good.
He's not. So it's not the same with all Afghan fathers, I can
No,
say.
no, I'm sure
Not-
most of them considered it wrong.
Yeah. So I'm very grateful to have my dad. And some of my friends, before the race, they couldn't believe that I can do that. But after the race, they were very supportive. And I was very happy to be surrounded by open-minded friends and relatives. But this is not the case with so many others.
Right. So for yourself, I mean, I always say that people underestimate the power of sport. That sport is just a huge part of who we are and what we do. When you came across that finish line, not knowing that a year before there's no way you could have done that, but how you transformed yourself, what was going through in your heart when you finished that race?
So yeah, I said a year before that I couldn't even float on the water, but after that I was so happy that I could do that, and I felt I had so much support, and I felt like the power of sport, the power of community, the power of support, how they can help everyone benefit from the opportunities out there. That's why I believe everyone should be an advocate, and sport is a tool to advocate.
So fun. I love that. And so you have a MBA,
Yes.
correct, from Colorado State University. You're a Fulbright scholar. And you also ran a 250K ultra marathon across the Mongolian Gobi Desert.
Yes, in 2018 when I was training for this race,
Yes.
I met with Jackie Faye. So, yeah, in August 2018, I ran 250 kilometers.
You are a pretty amazing person. That is unbelievable. Now, do the magazines and newspapers and radio shows talk about you in Afghanistan in terms of being a role model for women?
No.
No, they don't.
No, because
They don't want to publicize.
yeah, one is that I also feel not very secure because my family are still back in the country, so I don't feel secure about them.
Yes.
So that's one reason. And also in the past, like before the Taliban took over, art or sport, they didn't have a lot of value in Afghanistan.
Right.
So that was why not a lot of emphasis were on sport, and the athletes were not valued there. And now I can say it's zero.
So what are your hopes and dreams for the women of Afghanistan?
I just wish that all the women and women of Afghanistan can benefit from the same opportunities that everyone else have in other countries. We don't want more. It's their basic human rights that
Exactly.
they can choose whatever they want to do with their life. Like, it shouldn't be only if they want to go to get education, they should be free to do that. If they want to play a sport, they should be free to do that. So I want them to have the freedom of choice in their life and make decisions for their own lives.
Has sport been beneficial for you in terms of education, in terms of just the way you feel about yourself?
So I started to play a sport just to feel good,
Yeah.
But later I found the power of sports goes beyond mental and physical health, and that's why I mentioned also earlier that sport can create a change in a society. It can be used as
So this race, 70.3 World Championship, this is a true World Championship course because you'll have a swim where it'll be, the water is somewhat chilly, but it'll be really cold when you come out of the water. And then you have a very hilly and tough bike ride and a very hilly and tough run. It's a heck of a challenge. How have you been training for this race?
I don't want to complain, but I feel I should complain because I came to United States one day after Taliban took over, and then I wasn't feeling good mentally.
Yes.
Because my family are still stuck.
Your family's still there.
In Afghanistan, and then every day we heard not so many good news about Afghanistan. Like explosions happened still.
Yes.
A month ago, a girl's school was attacked by terrorists.
Yes.
So it's so difficult to be focused on your studies, on the training, and also on top of that, I've applied for asylum to be able to stay in the U.S.
Yes.
So the immigration process in the U.S. is not easy. That's a
No,
lot
no.
of paperwork. So all of these were a lot
Makes
of
it hard to train.
challenge
Yes.
to train. But I've been trying to go out and to train.
Good.
Yeah, and I hope tomorrow is Friday is going to be a good day.
When you come across the finish line, and this isn't just a triathlon, it's a world championship. What will it mean to you to finish Ironman 70.3 World Championship?
I can say it's not a personal challenge that I want to overcome it. I feel a lot of responsibility to finish
Yes.
the race because I got the opportunity to represent a whole nation for the first time.
Yes.
So I already feel there's a lot of responsibility
a lot of
on my shoulder. I will do my best, and I hope this opens the door for other girls and women or other minorities from any part of the world to come and participate.
Zeinab, such a pleasure to get to meet you. Best of luck on Friday, and have the best race ever.
Thank you so much for having me.
I
Thank
love
you.
having you. Well, that's a wrap for day 2 of Breakfast with Bob. We're here in beautiful St. George, Utah. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. See you then.